Hey, my name is Steve, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you a fast MACD 1-minute scalping strategy for quick profits. And this is something that I've been testing for a while and thought it might be a good time to share with the channel. If you like today's video, hit the like and subscribe button and watch out for more of the same type of video. And the first thing I want to do after I actually decide which pair I'm going to trade for the day is have a look at Forex Factory and just check that there's no red news in the session that I'll be trading. So for me, I'm usually trading in the London session around the London Open. So I will be looking at today's date. It's actually a Saturday today, so there's nothing here, but I'll look at today's date and just check that there's nothing going to influence today's trading. After I've done that, I'll go to the chart and I'll start with a 15-minute chart. And what I'm going to do now is just draw out some key areas on the actual chart, some support and resistance areas that could cause the price to either perhaps bounce or a breakthrough area. So I'm going to do that just by adding a simple line. So just for example, on this particular day, we've got a low in the Asian session here. So I'm going to mark that as a support area. And I've just put on an indicator to show when the London opens, and that's the yellow line here. So we are going to place a red line at a resistance level that happened during the Asian session, but just before the London session. And now that I've marked out these areas on the 15-minute chart, I'm going to move down to, one thing I should add, the indicators I'm going to use are the 200 moving average. You probably already know how to add this one to your chart, and also the MACD just with the standard settings. And I'll go through some of the rules for you as well. First thing I want to do is move to the 1-minute chart, and I'm just going to show you some examples. And then after I show you how the rules go, we will go to the Forex simulator, and I'll show you an example of a couple of trades in progress as well. Now just go back to the day that we had marked out. Okay, here we can see we actually had the support and resistance lines marked out for the Asian session. And we can see here, this is the start of the London session. So the London range is basically the actual range in the first 30 minutes. We've got down here, which is about 27 pips. We can see here that we actually had a resistance level that has broken through in the Asian session, and that could now become a support line, I guess, as well. The rules are simple for entry on this one. We are looking for the price to be above the 200 moving average, which it is in this example. And we're looking for the MACD to be below the 0 line, and for the MACD line to cross up over the signal line. And on the histogram, the easy way to see the actual crossover point is when the histogram changes color. So when it goes from red to green, this first candle here is the first candle after the actual crossover. So we can see here that it is, if we want to use a stop loss just below the swing low, we would in this case use a 10 pip stop loss. We can go for a 2R take profit. In this particular example, we would have actually got 5R on that particular trade. So you could have easily gone for a 2 or 3R trade, turn 1% into 3%, or up to 5% if you wanted to risk going that long. You could have actually held it longer, and into the session, it actually did go quite a lot higher and it actually kept going. So just to get a bit of an idea how far this one did actually move. Okay, from the entry point, if we say 10 pips, this actually went up over 100 pips. So you could have had a 10R trade if you wanted to get in at this point and hold the trade to the end of the session. Now we have an example of a short trade. So we want the price to be below the 200 line, the MACD to be above the 0 line for the entry, and for the MACD line to cross down over the signal line to give us a short entry. And again, if you wanted to look at the histogram, we just look for the first or second red candle before we enter. And in this particular case, it is on this candle. So stop loss here would be 15 pips, and take profit here would be, let's see, about 23. So almost 10 pip, almost probably about a 1.5 R roughly on that trade. This didn't turn out to be a big trade on this particular example, but if you wanted to use this strategy for fast, simple scalping, you could go for something like a 1-to-1 or a 1.5-to-1 ratio, and in this case it would have actually worked out quite well. Here we have another example of a short trade that you could have taken. This one actually did roll out to have some pretty good return, and we've got here a pullback to the 200 moving average. We have the MACD crossing over the signal line, and it's above the 0. So that is our entry point. Look for the red on the histogram for the entry point. We can see that we could have got in right here. 7 pip stop loss, and if you wrote it to the bottom, 65 pips you could have got on that trade. So that works out about a 9R trade for you. We're in Forex Simulator now, and I'm just going to show you a couple of examples of how you would trade this if you were doing this one live. So we've got down here, we can see that on the 15-minute chart I have on the left, we can see that there is a resistance line sort of up a bit of distance from where we are. It's about 30 pips away, and support level, which is about 52 pips below us. So we're kind of in the top half of the range at the moment. We can see here we've previously bounced off the 200 moving average on the 15-minute chart, and we can see here that the price is currently above the 200 on the 1-minute chart. So we're looking for a scalping entry here, and we're waiting for the MACD lines to cross at this point. So just moving forward for the next few candles, and let's see, sorry, go back again. We want to just move forward on the 1-minute chart, one candle at a time until we get a crossover. And this is what we would be looking at for an entry. And we can see here that we're approaching an entry point on the 1-minute chart for our scalp. And we can see here that the MACD lines have just crossed. The histogram is just turning green. So this is about where we want to enter. I normally wouldn't enter with less than about a 4 or 5 pip stop loss. So I would have thought perhaps put it below the 200 moving average, but that's only 2.6 pips. That's too tight. So let's make that about a 4 or 5 pips. So let's say 5 pips, and we'll go for a 1.5 return on our trade. So 5 pips, and we'll say 8 pips for our target. So that's just a bit better than 1.5. We're risking 1% here to make 1.5%. So entry has been made, and let's just hit play and see how it turns out. All right, in this case, it actually worked out fine. We made just under 1.5%, 1.39, probably because of spreads or commissions or both on that one, that we didn't get a full 1.5R, but just to show you how the example works. So I'll see if I can find a short trade for you now as well. Here we have an example of a short trade. There's actually 2 places here where we could have actually gotten into the trade. First one here, which is, let's see, that's about a 4 pip stop loss, and target would be 6 pips if we're going for 1.5R. This one actually went to about just over 8 pips. So that would have been a winning trade if you took that one. But this is a better looking example here. We can see it pulled back to the 200 and it's just crossing now. So we probably want to move forward one more candle. And there it is. Let's see, stop loss is around, say 11 pips. Which gives us about a 17 or 18 pip take profit. And let's see how that one plays out. And again, that one hit our target. I think it could have actually gone even further. Actually worked out to be a perfect, almost a perfect exit on that one anyway. So we've got our 1.5R. So that's it for today's examples on how to use MACD on a 1 minute chart for scalping. Give this a shot yourself and make a comment below. Let me know how it actually turns out for you, if you like the strategy and if it actually seemed to work for you well, if it's worthwhile, or if there's something on there or part of the strategy you'd like to change. Hit the like and subscribe and watch out for more videos like this.